I expected things to happen differently in the 5th and final season of The Boys, and I have to admit, what I'm seeing is a bit of a slow burner. Don't get me wrong, it's still fun to watch and entertaining as hell, but I get the feeling that the narrative is stalling, especially after watching the 5th episode titled One Shots. I mean, we're into the final season for God's sake, with only 3 episodes remaining, and I don't see the story anywhere near a proper closure yet. That being said, there have been a few unexpected moments, and one character who surprised me the most has to be Soldier Boy. From seeing the soft side of him mourning the death of Quinn in the previous episode, we now have seen him protect Homelander, and this makes me wonder what's really up with him. Did he have a change of heart, and has he started to develop a fatherly affection for Homelander, or is he just planning for something bigger and far more sinister? Let's check out the possibilities in this video as I try to explore the complicated mind of Soldier Boy.
Does Bomb Site have the V1s?
What are the major changes that we're seeing in Soldier Boy? Okay, so let me take you back to the previous episode for a moment here. Soldier Boy tags along with Homelander in search of V1, but not to hand it over like a good father. He doesn't want Homelander to find the V1 that could potentially make him ageless and immortal. Instead, he wants to hog the limelight once Homelander grows older and weaker. And in a crucial moment during the mission, he even locks up Homelander in the Fort Harmony facility inside a soup-proof radioactive room. It takes a toll on the leader of the Seven, and by the time he manages to break out, he is scarred and fuming. However, Soldier Boy accidentally ends up killing his former colleague, Quinn, who has become part of the facility after a Compound V experiment gone wrong for all these years. It makes him so guilty that he just sits there, without worrying about Homelander taking him out. Heck, he even asks Homelander to do it already. And I think even Homelander is surprised to see him mourning and refrains from attacking him further. Now, this might have been a turning point in the relationship between the two. Homelander has always admired Soldier Boy, and the lack of a fatherly figure in his life has probably made him subconsciously seek his love and approval. Of course, Soldier Boy has never minced words to criticize him outright, but I've noticed a slight change since the incident at Fort Harmony. He's started to be more considerate toward him, even entertaining some of his whims and fancies, although he knows that they're totally unreasonable. For instance, in the 5th episode, we have seen the growing obsession of Homelander to be a god for the people, and Soldier Boy knows it is total bullshit, but says nothing to him. Perhaps the biggest moment of support from Soldier Boy comes when he heads out to meet Mr. Marathon after finding out a lead on the V1 from the captive Stan Edgar. He accompanies Homelander once again, and this time around, they come down to Mr. Marathon's mansion, where a few celebrities playing themselves like Seth Rogen, Kumail Nanjiani, and Will Forte complain about how they have to be pro-Homelander to keep their careers and lives. There's also a soup with gaseous breath, Malchemical, and after a dramatic confrontation, he knocks out Homelander, who is taken by surprise. Soldier Boy is offered to join hands with them to kill Homelander for good, and I cannot think of a better opportunity if he really wants to do that. But he refuses and fights them all, resulting in an entertaining showdown with Mr. Marathon and a few violent deaths. By the time Homelander is back to his senses, the job is already done, and this offers a quick moment of gratitude for Homelander, who surely knows that it's his father who saved him this time. But does this really solidify an alliance between the two, or is there a bigger picture in the dark? What if Soldier Boy is now a changed man? Well, people change, don't they? Even a soup who's been around since the Second World War can have a change of heart, especially when it concerns his son. I don't rule this out completely because if there is a father-son alliance, it'll make an even more difficult task for the boys. Let's not forget, Soldier Boy is even immune to the soup-killing virus. There are quite a few reasons that might have led to his change of heart. Firstly, Soldier Boy has observed the consistent devotion and admiration that Homelander has towards him. He's the one who brought him back once again after he was put into that cryogenic sleep chamber. No matter how badly Soldier Boy behaves, there is no direct hate or animosity from Homelander, and this might have won him over. After all, who doesn't crave for some genuine love and affection? Soldier Boy's been betrayed by his loved ones far too many times. And now, he probably thinks that this twisted individual, however flawed, at least loves him dearly. And given that he happens to be his son, Soldier Boy cannot be blamed for developing a soft corner. If this is indeed the case, the final showdown will be absolutely brutal, because there will be 2 of these Omega-level soups to take down the Starlighters and the boys. Moreover, Soldier Boy is definitely a lot smarter than Homelander, and he can keep some of his bad decision making in check if he wants to. But enough about what it seems like on the surface. Let's explore what could be the other option for Soldier Boy. Does he want more than just the death of Homelander? See, it doesn't get clearer than this that Soldier Boy is not after killing Homelander. If he really was, then there wouldn't have been a better opportunity than at Mr. Marathon's house. Mr. Marathon hated Homelander from the bottom of his heart because he'd replaced him with A-Train as the new Speedy Soup, and Malchemical had knocked out Homelander with an unexpected breath attack. I would like to think that 3 Soups, and one of them being Soldier Boy himself, had a great chance at killing Homelander for good. It's been suggested earlier that Soldier Boy's atomic blast can potentially kill Homelander, but he doesn't even try. Instead, he takes down the ones threatening and scheming to end Homelander, thereby becoming a savior for the Soup with a god complex. I bet this will hold him in good stead, and now Homelander will surely not see him as a threat. He might even be gullible enough to be manipulated by Soldier Boy as he wants. If it's not the death of Homelander that he wants, then what's he really up to? Well, I have a theory here, and it might be a bit far-fetched, but hear me out. Assuming that he's not developed any fatherly affection for Homelander, he probably remains focused on being in charge because that's what he's always wanted. With Homelander killed, it might have happened, but that wouldn't give him the same respect in the eyes of the public. But if Homelander goes rogue and he's the one to rein in his oppressive regime, then Soldier Boy would become the true hero. My guess is that Soldier Boy is just waiting for the right opportunity, and he's only interested in getting the V1 so much because he wants to ensure that it never reaches Homelander. This also explains why he never for 1 second tries to talk Homelander out of his obsessive god complex, where he literally wants to be the god for the people now. Soldier Boy's playing the waiting game here, much like Sister Sage, and he wants Homelander to ruin everything before he can fix it to be the hero. Also, instead of killing Homelander, keeping him captive might be a good idea for him, because that way the punishment will seem just and fair to the public. If it really is chaos and deaths of millions that bring him the crown, Soldier Boy will endure that to be the forever Soup after the downfall of Homelander. This reminds me of the scene where Soldier Boy chooses to accompany Homelander to interrogate Stan Edgar. He knows that Homelander is unpredictable and can end up killing Stan in a fit of rage. And if he's to take over as the new leader of the Soups, the Soldier Boy will need the wisdom that Stan has going forward. You know why this makes sense to me? Even Sister Sage is unable to put a finger on what Soldier Boy's up to, and she's the smartest person on the planet. She's confident enough to confide in Ashley about her plans of Soup World War, but she's hesitant to reach out to Soldier Boy yet. But I must say that if Soldier Boy really wants to go ahead with such a plan, he has to involve Sage at some point. It will be one badass team for sure, and poor Homelander wouldn't know what hit him. Pretending to save his life and showing that he cares for Homelander might be the best trick that Soldier Boy has ever pulled off, if this really is a trick at all. Personally, I think there's something more to this whole saga than Soldier Boy turning a new leaf, and I guess we'll find out all about it in the next episode itself. I'd love to hear your take on the matter in the comments. Also, share your thoughts on how you like the ongoing final season so far, and if it feels like a snooze fest to you as well. I just hope that the next 3 episodes are more eventful, because the fans deserve a worthy ending to such a memorable series. If you appreciate our efforts to bring you this content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons for our channel. Ring that bell icon for more videos. And as always, stay marvelous.